Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set up your interactive journal one more time that's more up to date. So it should have your name on the front. Your first section is going to be a grammar section. And the first page of section 1 should say grammar table of contents. You should have 2 entries at this point, I before E and proper nouns on pages 2 through 3, and final Y spelling rule and common nouns on page 4 and 5. I had you skip page 1 here because your grammar notes always have 2 pages and I want them to be on the same consecutive page. So if you turn the page on page 2 and 3, you should have your proper nouns and I before E notes. This page, let's see if I can figure it out. This page here, on this section, you'll have all your notes that we took during the lesson. And here you'll fill out the examples that we took during class. Same thing for parts of speech, which would be proper nouns in this instance. In this section, what we did was we identified the proper nouns and the common nouns used in this political cartoon. Then we wrote a sentence using all 3 types of proper nouns. We put an example. We put an example of each type of noun on the back of these pencils and put them inside of the cup. We did not glue the pencils, only the cup. The second thing that we did in grammar was the final Y spelling rule and the common nouns. Same thing here. Notes on this side, examples on here. Examples, notes, political cartoon. We had to explain the difference between a common noun and a proper noun. Which one of those types is more specific? You're going to have to tell me which one. And then we wrote a sentence using all 4 types of proper nouns. No, all 4 types of common nouns, not proper. Then here, this is a foldable. We pulled each example of the proper nouns that we used from this sentence and put them on the back flaps here. So if you wrote a sentence with the man as your person, you'd write man on the back here. Okay? So that's all we have for our grammar section at this point. So the next section that we move into would next be vocabulary. I made some errors in my page numbering, but that's okay. Vocabulary table of contents should have 4 different units in it. Unit 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you turn the page, the first thing we did was the 4 Frayer models for these vocabulary words. And I don't have mine completed because I'm not about to show you a video with all the answers. Right? The Frayer models, 2 per page, except on the last page where you only have 1. The next one is going to be Unit 2, which we did as the flip book, the heads up video game. One side you'll have the term, one side you'll have the definition. 2 cards per page. 2 cards per page. Unit 3, we just did a piece of paper flip book, right? So you should have the word, a sentence, and the definition. Right? I don't care what order it's in, but each flap should have the word on top, and under here a sentence and a definition. Over here, same flip book that we did Tuesday. 2 vocabulary words per page. Word on the front, definition on the back. The third section that we work on is our reading and writing section. Again, the first page is the table of contents. Reading and writing, table of contents. So we have 4 entries. Stalin, A Brutal Legacy, characterization, commandments, and conformity sort. If you're in my second period, you do not have the commandments comparison. I'd like for you to at least try to keep page 3 open. So we did not skip page 1 here again. This is where we read the article, Stalin: A Brutal Legacy. We took one of the headings. Each group took one of the headings. In the middle, I glued this backwards. We put the central idea in the middle. Right? What was the focus of this heading? The heading should help you do that. And then we collected 4 pieces of evidence that proved, right, that was the central idea. We want there to be a connection. I don't want you to tell me so-and-so is an honest person and expect me to believe you without you collecting evidence that proves they're honest. In this case, it would be collecting evidence that proves this is your central idea. Come on, where are you? There you go. Okay. The next page was the characterization project. You have 2 mirrors with 3 flaps on each mirror. This first one we watched an excerpt from Bugs Bunny's Turkey Delight, right? And we collected evidence on what the character thought about himself with evidence. We said what other characters thought about them with evidence, and then what we thought about them and justifications. In the second mirror, we did the same thing, but we used characters from Animal Farm. So we decided who Moses, Molly, Boxer, or Old Major. So you could choose Moses, Molly, Boxer, or Old Major, and do the same activity in this mirror with one of those 4 characters from Animal Farm. The 10 Commandments comparison, we did this square foldable, and we looked at the 10 Commandments from the Bible and the 7 Commandments of Animalism from Animal Farm, and we compared them. Let me see if I can do it. These 2 boxes here are what was different about each one, and this obvious box here is the similarities. Think of it as a Venn diagram, right? And then the last thing that we added was this conformity foldable. We read the article Conformity, where we talked about what conformity was, and then that article explained that there are 3 different types of conformity. So you'll put in, see, now y'all are going to be able to copy this, which is why I wouldn't want to do it in any other activities. But you're going to put in each column a different type of conformity and the definition. As we read through Animal Farm, you're going to try to sort the characters based on the type of conformity that they adhere to. So that's all we've done so far. Hopefully this video gets you set up, because I'm going to do a journal check next week. And journals are 25% of your 6 weeks average because they're a test grade. Let me know if you have any questions.